Make no mistake about it, lads. This has been one hell of a wacky 2024 Formula One season. The roller coaster of emotions, the surprises, the curveballs that have been thrown at the teams, the drivers, and us even watching. It's been unbelievable. Twists and turns like you've never seen before. We've got people up for sexual assault. You've got the wizard behind the curtain leaving the head team, going into another team and being on TV. That never happens. We've got fathers fighting with team owners. We've got teams that are just coming out of nowhere contending for championships. We've got a team owner who doesn't even want to win the Drivers' Championship. I've never seen that before either. It has been one unimaginable 2024 season. And lads, okay, we're at the last round of the year at Abu Dhabi. Some of you, I can understand, you're probably like, oh man, it's over now at this stage. But 2025 is just beginning.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh. It's been an unbelievable year. You just didn't know who to cheer on. I mean, I wasn't a Verstappen fan this year. I was going for Lando Norris, okay? And, you know, I was cheering on Verstappen at some points. I was cheering on Christian Horner, Adrian Newey. Then I was going over to Zach Brown, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri. It was all over the place. Now I'm cheering on Fernando Alonso because they got Adrian Newey coming on board. And, you know, whoever you support, guys, I totally respect that. But it was just so bizarre. It was so bizarre. You just didn't know what next curveball was coming. I mean, it messed me up in my podcast here. I didn't know where to go with some of these episodes. Now, lads, yes, we're into winter break, but there's going to be plenty more content coming from myself, reviewing the year, who was looking great, right? What we're going to expect for 2025. So believe me, the season may be over, but the content is still flowing, baby. Flowing all winter long. So stay tuned for that. But, you know, guys, let's look at a bit of a background here. What do I mean? I mean, maybe you've seen some of the footage. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't been keeping an eye half it. But, you know, yeah, first of all, let's start with Christian Horner. The guy gets accused of sexual assault. Now, guys, we don't know what happened behind the curtain. Now, you know, you gotta give it them. Innocent until proven guilty. Now, by the way, I don't really like the guy. Like, the guy, I've said it before, the guy's an a-hole. I think he's an unbelievable, brilliant team boss. And I stand to that. I just don't like the guy. Right? But look, that's my opinion, and that doesn't mean anything, you know? But, you know, at the end of the day, guys, you know, we have to have a bit of, what would you say? A bit of fairness here. We don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But to get accused of that and, you know, and now it's all settled. Apparently, you know, this all happened to the team. Now, you could say, why did Adrian Newey leave then? Did Adrian Newey see something that we all shouldn't have, or that no one should have seen? Or was he just fed up with everybody's attitude in the Red Bull? You know, there is a bit of smoke. There is a bit of smoke coming from this. But maybe it just got arms and legs attached onto it. We'll never know, ladies and gentlemen. We will never know. I honestly, my gut tells me Christian Horner didn't do anything, man. He didn't do anything. And quite honestly, you know why? This maybe sounds weird. He's too much of an a-hole to do something. Like, there's a lot of guys out there that will sexually assault someone, or even the R word. I won't mention that on YouTube here. But they act really nicey. They all come across as the nice, sweetest, most gentle people in the world. But they're the real predators. You know what I mean? Now, again, I could be wrong. But the guy's so in your face with attitude, Christian Horner. I just don't think he's like that. But, you know, let's see. Maybe something will come out, maybe not. Okay, then we have Adrian Newey. I mean, part of the whole parcel here. Adrian Newey leaving the team halfway through. I mean, guys, I've said it before and I'll say it one last time. For a team, engineer to leave any racing team, whether it was karting or Formula One, whatever it is, For them to leave halfway through a season and not only leave, but go on TV announcing that you're the next engineer, aerodynamicist for a different team, that's huge news. It never happens, lads. It never happens. Because I would imagine that, again, I don't know for a fact, but I would imagine that Adrian Newey was still under a contract, okay? But he just decided, maybe they had a clause in it where, okay, Adrian, look, if you want to leave, grand, but you cannot work on any other car until the end of the season, right? That was probably in his contract, something like that, right? I mean, it's the same with Formula One drivers. They'd have a contract where maybe they cannot drive karts, or they cannot do any motorbiking, they cannot drive any other Formula One cars, or even if there is a situation where, like Lewis Hamilton drove Ayrton Senna's old McLaren there recently, he probably had to get permission to drive the car. Now again, it just depends on the different contracts that you get with your team, etc. But there is clauses in these contracts that do restrict people. Now, I can't imagine that, there's no way you would want Adrian Newey going near a different car throughout the year. How much input did he have on the car? We'll never know. Maybe he's been secretly working on the car, but for him to leave midway through it's mental, man. It's mental. Now, let's not forget Lawrence Stroll, the Aston Martin boss, lads, okay? The reason why Adrian Newey left the team is, well, obviously there's problems, but the reason why he chose Aston Martin, and he had the pick of the litter here, all right? There's no two ways about it. Plenty of teams contacted him to join on their team. The reason why he went, because he sees that Lawrence Stroll is a very, very active guy. He's getting stuck in, hands-on approach. He arrives at the race weekends. He's around. He wants to keep involved. He's keeping on top of the game. And that's the reason why he left. There's a lot of Formula One shareholders, investors, directors of this company and that company. They don't even go to the race events. They just get like the likes of a Toto Wolff, right? Toto Wolff, hey Toto, can you take care of the Formula One team for us? We're too busy with our road cars here and we don't give a damn, to be honest, or whatever they say, but they let Toto do all the work. Lawrence Stroll is hands-on approach. That means he's more invested. He wants to win. Does it mean he's going to win? We don't know. But I tell you, lads, I honestly think that Aston Martin are going to be a major, major threat in 2025. And at the same time here, I was saying that 2025 has started already. We had Qatar last weekend. Now we've got Abu Dhabi. There's not going to be many adjustments on the car or rule changes for these cars for 2025. 2026 is a big one, but 2025, pretty much the same thing. And you've got the budget cap thrown in. So therefore, what does this tell you? This tells you that you can't change your car around too much. Therefore, you're restricted to a degree. Now, I could see what Adrian Newey does. He's a very hands-on guy where he goes down to the basics, the mechanical grip, the aerodynamical grip. He's going to be the airflow. He's going to be working on these type of scenarios here. And if he can basically do what he did at Red Bull and mimic the car, he's going to be right there. And then you'll see, I would think Verstappen, especially after Qatar, Verstappen was very quick, which was surprising, I honestly thought. Because with Adrian Newey gone, I was like, all right, well, that's it. They're gone. But we'll see what happens this weekend. But I think you're going to see Red Bull start to, if they are quick this weekend, it gives us a good insight into what's going to happen at this 2025 season and who's going to be quick for the first 3 or 4 races. Then it'll probably start to wear off. Because then there'll be new features coming on. The likes of an Adrian Newey will get, right, this is what I need to do with this car, and it'll take him a few races. So I would keep a good eye out, lads, a very, very good eye out to what happens next year. I mean, there was so much other stuff. Jos Verstappen, Max Verstappen's dad, apparently he was involved in the sexual assault, and what do you say to this? What do you say to this? I honestly don't believe it, because I can't see any father in a racing community. And believe me, lads, when I was racing, my father was around, we would do anything to win. All right? You're not licking ass to your team boss. You're not doing all this type of thing. Absolutely not, because before Formula 1, you're the man paying the wages to the team. Now, in Formula 1, you still be treated with respect, right? And you know, you should be a nice person to people, but not lick their ass. Okay? So I can't see Jos Verstappen going off and causing rows with Christian Horner over some girl. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. That would be mental, man. Mental, because he knows he's not just messing up himself, he's messing up his kids' future in racing. And believe me, lads, you know, fathers of racing drivers, they go through this stuff. It's a tough life for them too, because they've invested a lot of money or they've put a lot of work into their kid to get where they are, and you think they're going to throw it away on some girl? I don't think so, lads. I really don't think so. But again, just added to all the controversy this year. Okay, let's look at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, lads. So, race distance, 306 kilometers, is probably going to be the same this year. Circuit length, 5.2k, with a Max Verstappen lap record at 1:26.1. Obviously, they're going to do a lot quicker in qualifying and practice, etc. Obviously, lighter fuel loads, but in the race, 1:26. Some people like this track, some people don't. It's cool. I mean, especially after 2021 with Hamilton and Verstappen showdown, that was, well, that was definitely one of the greatest laps of all time. Actually, probably the greatest lap of all time. I mean, how could you beat that? And this took place at this track. Now, guys, it's a kind of a technical track. A lot of mechanical grip, very, very important. If you get your mechanical grip, you can relax a small bit on your aero grip. Now, I think, to be honest with you, turn 5 or turn 6 or 7 are the most important places on the track. The way the cars have gone this year with grip, I would say I'm going to go with I'm kind of in between. I'd go with turn 5 because you got such a big straight at the end. And then into turn 6 and 7. Turn 6 and 7 is quite technical, but at the same time, it's quite easy. Okay? If you mess up turn 5, you mess up that big straight. If you mess up turn 6 and 7, you can still get an advantage down that straight after turn 6 and 7 because you got DRS. Right? So it does help you to gain an advantage back if you have an advantage. So yeah, turn 5, I think, guys, really is the main one. Get down that straight, get a slipstream of someone in a race, and you're laughing. You are laughing. And before we pack it up for the day here, lads, and like I said, we're going to be coming back with plenty of content in the next few weeks, the next few months. This train never ends. But what I would say here, lads, is, you know, and we didn't speak about this, and quite honestly, I'm sick to death of talking about it. You see McLaren, they're trying to win the Constructors' Championship. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from an ex-racing driver. The Constructors' Championship is a load of bollocks. Okay? At the end of the day. Now, yes, it's important. They do get money. All right? They do get money. So it is important. Okay? Now, if you're deciding between the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship, the Constructors is a lot of bollocks. Because at the end of the day, if you are in a position to win the Drivers' Championship, the chances are you're in a position to win the Constructors' Championship too. You know what I mean? Because you're obviously doing well. Now, it's not guaranteed all the time, but it's sinful, lads. I mean, they could have easily have focused in on the Drivers' Championship this year and the Constructors the same time, where they gave Oscar Piastri, they gave him the advantage over Norris. They could have just turned them around, gave the positions back, and gave it to Norris so he has a chance to win the championship for himself, the drivers, and then they could still win the Constructors by having Piastri up there too. I mean, it's criminal what has happened to Lando Norris this year. Absolutely criminal. And you know something? If they don't win the Constructors this year, well, even though, and remember, lads, I was gunning for them, or not gunning, sorry. I was going for them this year. I wanted them to win the Drivers' Championship. The Drivers' Championship is like winning the Oscar. The Constructors is winning the SAG Award. Yeah, it's great, and people, you get credit and you get money, but it doesn't have the glitz, the glamour, the, oh my God, he won the Oscar. Holy God. Or, oh my God, he won the SAG. Okay, who cares? What are you thinking at the end of this year? When you think of the champion at the end of this year, do you think of, oh, Max Verstappen won the championship this year? Or are you thinking of, oh, McLaren won the championship this year? No. You're thinking of Max Verstappen was a champion. And every team boss would say this to you. It is the razzmatazz, the glitz and glamour, the red carpet, the Oscar. It is everything to have number one in your car. Number one in your car. And let's leave it with this. Whoever wins the Drivers' Championship puts number one in their car. So winning the Drivers' Championship even gives you that right to put the number one on your car. If McLaren walk away and win the Constructors this year, they don't get to put number one on their car. So what does that tell you? Tells you a lot. It's all about the Drivers' Championship. Yes, it's a good Brucey bonus, if you want to call it that, okay, to get the Constructors. But, dear Lord, and I think for next season, 2015, you're probably going to have Oscar Piastri number one. That's what I'm getting the gut feeling. Okay, just before we head off, predictions. We'll obviously be back on Sunday, guys, and Monday with the reaction from Abu Dhabi. I would think, I can't even believe I'm saying this, I think Max Verstappen's going to be right up there. I wouldn't have said that to you before Qatar. This is what I love about it, don't you? Love about the whole year. It's been so up and down. I never predicted McLaren would be up there trying to win races and compete for the championship. I never predicted Verstappen would lose pace and then all of a sudden he's back again at Qatar. What is going on? Up and down like a yo-yo. It's great. It's great for us to watch. And hopefully we'll have a good, interesting, entertaining Grand Prix this weekend. But guys, thanks for watching. I love y'all. We will be back after with the reaction of Abu Dhabi. Talk to you later.
Walsh running the Irish crane, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh.